In a world where water once flowed freely, where rivers danced and lakes shimmered, we now find ourselves in the grip of a silent crisis. The earth beneath our feet cracks with thirst, and the once vibrant hues of life fade into the shades of desolation. But amidst this struggle, it is not just the land that suffers. It is the people, the families, the children who bear the burden of the scarcity. And yet, even in the face of scarcity, we find ourselves surrounded by abundance. It starts with the simple act of brushing our teeth, letting the faucet run as we scrub away. Then there's the indulgence of a morning shower, where water cascades over us, sometimes longer than necessary, just because it feels good. And let's not forget the countless times we refill our glasses, forgetting the half-full ones left scattered around the house. It's a cycle of convenience, but in our rush, we often overlook its preciousness. We let water flow freely from our taps, heedless of the consequences, while others yearn for just a sip to quench their thirst. An average Indian household consisting of 5 people consumes about 135 liters of fresh water per person every single day. Of this, about 35 liters of fresh water is used for daily tasks essential for survival, such as drinking water, bathing, cooking, doing laundry, watering the plants, washing the car, etc. But the remaining 100 liters of fresh water is entirely consumed by one single act: flushing your toilets. As a result of this, about 80% of the fresh water turns into sewage. In places where sewage treatment infrastructure may be inadequate or lacking, households often discharge untreated sewage directly into the municipal drainage system. This untreated sewage eventually finds its way into rivers and lakes through stormwater drains or sewage outfalls.
I've seen this city grow from a very different look to the complex or very complicated kind of look that it has now. I'll take you back to say early 80s and late 90s, kind of that period. So those days, Bangalore population was maybe 1/10 of what it is today. And it was fed in the north by Hesarghatta Lake, and there was this Tipgondanhalli tank, TG Halli tank, that was feeding Bangalore drinking water. And on the south side, you had Kaveri pumping the water through Tatguni pumping station to that part of Bangalore. And I think Bangalore ended at Jayanagar 4th block, Koramangala, and on the northern side, maybe Hebal. So that was a very different kind of a Bangalore where there was abundance. Then it went through this massive explosion, a lot of concretization happened, and I believe somewhere in this entire journey, our surface water got polluted.
Even in areas where households have septic tanks, improper maintenance and lack of regular desludging can lead to overflow or leakage of untreated sewage. This sewage can seep into the ground and contaminate groundwater sources or flow into nearby surface water bodies during heavy rainfall or flooding events. Now, there are two main problems that modern households simultaneously face and contribute to. The first is water scarcity, and the second is untreated sewage. Majority of the water consumed by households is used up in flushing their toilets. Improper sewage treatment methods result in disposal of huge amounts of untreated sewage into water bodies. This contaminates water bodies, thereby destroying existing sources of fresh water, leading us back to the problem of water scarcity. But not all hope is lost, as these challenges also present an opportunity. While some continue to grapple with the reality of the crisis at hand, others had already foreseen the situation well ahead in time and made efforts to rejuvenate the city's water sources.
There had to be this kind of stress to happen because the groundwater has gone, and river water to supply to entire Bangalore is not that easy. where actually there is a big scope, which slowly now we've started talking about, is recycling of water. Now, it is basically our moral responsibility to take out all the wastes that we put into water. If we are able to clean up the water that we borrow on a daily basis, and if we are able to do that recycling properly, our water footprint drastically reduces. So rainwater harvesting is important, but I believe wastewater recycling is the thing that we need to talk at this moment. This is the right time to discuss this topic. We just cannot avoid it. There was always this noise in my head that, there should be some right way to do things. So Riteways was born. We were doing a lot of experiments. We were learning a lot of things. We were trying to do a lot of surveys in the market and try to understand problem as it was. What happens naturally is when the wastewater is moving into a drain, it is picking up oxygen from the air, and whatever waste that we put in, whether it is fecal, urine, or from your kitchen and washrooms, that's all organic waste. And that's food for a certain life form, which is microorganisms or bacteria. One of the reasons why you cannot leave sewage or untreated water into the open is because the sewage has a very low dissolved oxygen. And for a healthy water body, you need at least 4 to 5 milligrams per liter of oxygen so that all the life in the water is able to breathe and sustain themselves. What happens in a sewage recycling plant is that you create a lot of these water tanks. Then you feed this water to the bacteria because you don't want smell around. So you want this whole process to be aerobic so that fermentation happens. And fermentation, when fermentation happens, then the only gases are carbon dioxide and water, a little bit of moisture. So in order to keep it aerobic, the sewage treatment plant technology requires that you blow a lot of air into the water.
I would say that in the process where we have reached today, we have done a lot of upgradation of our system. Lot of innovations went into it. Our office is a small lab where we do all kind of experiments, and once we get the result, then only we go out in the market and tell to the people. It was a magic for all of us as a company, for all of us, because that is something we were not able to believe that, oh, we have done this, we wanted to make something and it has happened. Yes. So what we did, what the innovations we have made is correct. The same goes with our rejuWATER, that sewage treatment plant also. When we did a small, we have a small portable kind of things at our office, and we have connected a sewage, a nearby drain sewage connected to that, going through that module. And when we saw that the clean water coming out of it, we said, yes, that's it. We have achieved what we have dreamt of, and we are going into the market.
Behind a great simplification is a great complex background and a very deep understanding of the subject. That sort of takes you on that path of simplification. I mean, I've been on this since almost 2000, and this is something which is probably the most important thing. A tool that anybody from an independent household to an organization, a factory, or an apartment community, anybody can adopt. It's been a journey of already 15 years, and we have sold these products in pan-India, deployed it in different weather conditions, and since last 4 or 5 years, we haven't felt any need to make any changes in the design, which is now very stable and is performing the way we want it to perform. Not that the improvements will stop, but the next versions will probably have something really different, I would say big improvements in the performance. I have this strange way of thinking that the world is all upside down, in Hindi ulta pulta. So we decided to put a tagline to Riteways. It was do it right ways, but we wrote it the mirror image kind of way.
Do it right ways.
Do it right ways.
Do it right ways.
In the struggle against water scarcity, we find not only hardship but also resilience, not only despair but also hope. It is a journey we must undertake together, hand in hand, drop by drop, as we strive to create a world where water flows freely for all.